of the Department of Transportation Services, and also representative from the same ministry to talk about the shipping services. First of all, to Mr. Zhao. Friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's a great pleasure for me to meet you again here, and I'd like to say thank you for your long-term support to transportation sector. First of all, I'd like to talk about the recent efforts we have made to ensure the smooth logistics. Our Ministry of Transport has worked diligently under the instructions of President Xi about ensuring the smooth logistics. According to the requirements of the CPC Central Committee about coordinating our efforts in ensuring the smooth logistics and also winning the fight against the COVID-19. And also according to the work arrangement of the CPC Central Committee and the State Council, we apply the same politics to guarantee the work of the whole country, and we have taken measures to ensure the smooth logistics. First of all, we have tackled the problem of the added requirements for the fight against COVID-19 that are unnecessary. We have people on duty 24 hours a day. Immediately, we can solve the problems of the tangled situation of logistics. In total, we have solved the problems and also the complaints made by the drivers up to 125,000. We have guaranteed more than 78,000 items concerning the transportation of merchandises. For 9 provinces, we have issued the documents of instructions, we have published the warnings, and also we have the investigations undercover. We urge all localities to follow the legitimate routine to check the status of health of all the drivers. We ensure that all the necessary policies and measures should be followed and unnecessary ones should not be added up. We have the dispatching mechanism on a daily basis, weekly basis, and also the monthly basis. In the flooding season, we also have extra measures to guarantee an untangled logistics for Zhejiang, Henan, Sichuan, Guangdong, Guangxi, Yunnan. In total, 22 provinces. And also for the port of Zhoushan, airport of Baiyun, airport of Pudong, as well as port of Shanghai, those major hubs of transportation, we urge all of them to guarantee the services of transport. And also for the cross-provincial border transportation, drivers can enjoy a quick pass. For Lushan, Marakang earthquake-stricken areas, we have also taken measures to help people out. For the major shipping areas, we have also taken measures to restore the level of services back to the pre-COVID status. We have also improved the quality of the services. For the major supplies, we have a whitelist for the enterprises. For the enterprises listed on this list, and enterprises working upstream and downstream of the industrial chain, we help them to solve their problems. We also offer enabling conditions, especially for this untangled logistics services to guarantee their resumption of works. And fourth, we continue to apply the policies to help enterprises out of difficult times. Our ministry has organized activities to help the enterprises today living in a difficult time. For example, tax rebates, taxes and fees reduction, 100 billion RMB of reloan, and also the postponing of contribution of the fees into the social security network. For individuals working as the drivers or the enterprises working in the transportation sector, they can all be beneficiaries of those policies. We will also spread the message and try to cover more people and more enterprises with these preferential policies. We also enlarge the coverage of free nucleic acid test and also the antigen test. We guarantee the basic living for our drivers, and also we make sure that the drivers, they are very satisfied with their life and their work. And fifth, we have to build up long-term system and mechanism. We will do regular evaluation of our work, and we draw the conclusions, and also we can learn from the best practices. We will gradually improve the mechanism of the dispatching of the drivers, and we also have the emergency response system to guarantee that we have a long-term effort to guarantee the smooth logistics. In the circumstances of some emergencies, we can use our past experience and also best practices to cope with the situation. With the coordinated efforts of different provinces, today we have already made significant achievements. We have basically untangled networks of transportation across the country, untangled logistics at ports, railway stations. For the service areas and also the toll gates temporarily shut down, we have applied dynamic zeroing policies. And also for the access control about the trucks, we have solved the problem. Compared to the year 2019, the volume of the flow of trucks grew by more than 18%. Major indicators have also made significant progress. On the 24th of June, cargo by road 116 million tons. Postal services have also made recovery of their services, supervised the port's throughput 32 million tons for the first half of this year for railway, shipping, postal services, and postal deliveries. The total merchandises transported would exceed that level in the same period of 2019. Railway transportation would be 120% of the level of 2019. Postal activities for logistics would be 185% of the level of 2019. So that is a significant increase compared to the same period of 2019. Road and civil aviation would reach 93% and 89% of the level of 2019. Since June, containers daily throughput at the port of Shanghai reached 128,000. At peak hours, they can reach 140,000 containers in throughput on a daily basis. At the airport of Pudong, they have also made significant progress. Moving forward, we will continue to give the instructions to the sectors and also the players in the market. For the cargo and also the logistics, we will start to pick up the business and resume our work. We also make sure that all the policies elaborated can be applied in place, and we will also build up a long-term mechanism to stabilize the logistics services to serve the long-term economic picture. And this is the basic introduction to our efforts in ensuring the smooth logistics. Taking this opportunity, I also would like to talk about the Shipping Day of China. According to the decision of the State Council, we take the first day of the overseas navigation of Mr. Zheng He in history as the Shipping Day of China. This year, we're about to celebrate the 18th Shipping Day of our country on the 11th of July. During the 10th and 16th of July this year, across the country, we will organize a week of thematic activities. And in the morning of the 11th of July, we will organize a launching ceremony in the city of Dalian. The organizing committee of this shipping day will publish an announcement to our country For the ships carrying Chinese flags or the foreign flags, they will make the sirens. This is a very grand ceremony, and friends of the media, you're always welcome to join this ceremony and make a coverage of that. Thank you very much, Mr. Zhao. Now the floor is open for your questions. Please first identify yourself before raising the question. Thank you. With CMG CCTV. My question is, we have already worked hard for 2 more months to ensure the smooth logistics, and what would be the following up efforts to consolidate what we have achieved now, and how can we build up this long-term mechanism of work? Thank you very much for this question. And this is a topic that has attracted so much attention against this background of COVID-19 containment. The insurance for the smooth logistics is a very interesting issue. I'd like to give this topic and this question to my colleague. Thank you very much. According to the statistics just now released by Vice Minister Zhao, after 2 months of hard work, the smooth logistics insurance work has achieved great progress. Major indicators are in a positive situation and level. We have entered into a new stage for ensuring the smooth logistics, and on a new stage, we're about to consolidate our achievements and also guarantee the resumption of work and also build up a long-term working mechanism. Moving forward, we will work with the leading group of the State Council on ensuring the smooth logistics and also the relevant departments and the government organizations to form a synergy across different levels of the hierarchy. And we will continue to consolidate our achievements in assuring smooth logistics. We will help to guarantee the industrial chain and supply chain for the enterprises, and also to make sure we have a robust service of logistics to the enterprises. First of all, we have to guarantee that all the measures in place for the fight against the COVID-19, they are necessary and they are not excessive. We have the hotline in service, and we also have people on duty 24 hours a day. For the truck drivers and the other relevant departments, if they make the complaints, we will pay a lot of attention to those questions raised and also the complaints, and we will also accelerate the resolution of the problems. Usually for the problems encountered by the truck drivers on the roads, we urge that those questions and problems should be solved within 2 hours. For other problems and complaints about the systems, they should be settled within 3 days. And we also have to untangle the circulation of the transport, especially for those drivers coming from the other provinces and cities. We should not use the excuse of this star mark with their trajectory record to forbid their entrance, and for drivers coming from the low-risk areas, we should not add up unnecessary requirements to restrict their circulation. We also have one more rule. You should not use any excuse to force the drivers to go back. Even they show a red code with their health status, you still cannot force them away. You have to take relevant measures according to the requirements. You have to do the disinfection of the goods to make sure that the goods can be delivered. And third, we have to continue to pick up our work in the logistic and transportation areas. For major areas like the Pearl River Delta, Yangtze River Delta, and the Beijing-Tianjin, Hebei region, you have to guarantee that all the trucks can circulate in a highly efficient manner. And also for the uploading and also the deloading of the trucks, it can be realized in a highly efficient manner. Fourth, we have to guide our services based on the real demands of the people. For example, energy supply, goods for the foreign trade, and also the agricultural entrance for the farmers. Those prioritized goods should be enjoying some privilege in the transportation sector. We have to make sure that the farmers can always receive their entrance, and energy supply is in a very good order. And for the major suppliers, downstream and upstream the supply chain, we have to make sure that they can always have their supplies coming in. We are also continuing with the assessment. Even against this background of containment of COVID-19, we have the dispatching mechanism on a daily, monthly, and weekly basis. We have coordination mechanism. We have the hotline to receive people's complaints. We also have learned a lot from our past experience with the dynamic zeroing for the major mechanisms and systems. For example, the closed loop operation, and also the dynamic monitoring and supervision and analysis of the data, as well as the whitelists. Those practices can be copied and applied on a larger scale, and we will continue with our efforts to build up this long-term working mechanism. Thank you. Thank you. Currently, we come into the flooding season. There's more typhoon risk. In the risk and disaster relief, what are the measures that you have already planned in your ministry? Thank you very much for your question. As you have mentioned in a question, in recent days, many places in our country have entered into the flooding season. They have suffered from the deluge, and there's also a huge risk faced by the properties and also our people. Our ministry has worked under the instructions of President Xi about our work and relief efforts in the flooding season. We will make sure that in our circle of transportation, we can first of all build up our mind to fight against the possible risks brought by the heavy rainfall. We have coordinated our efforts according to the forecast of the weather. For the situation of circulation of vehicles in the railway station, in the road network, as well as in the shipping circles, we have adopted tailored measures, and we urge all the players in the market to assume their responsibilities. We also have ruled out possible corners of the risks. And second, we have carried out a science-based dispatching mechanism. We have the checks and examinations to fight against the possible risks of the flooding. For major areas of the sea, we have the patrolling work. And for the major construction sites, we have also guaranteed all the policies in place. If there is an emergency outbreak, for example, in the flooding season, then there will be a very quick response. In those extreme weather days, for the circulation in the road networks, railway transportation, and the shipping circles, and also for the construction of key infrastructure areas, if necessary, we will urge people to postpone their activities and also to suspend their activities. During the 1st and 24th of June, for those provinces hardly stricken by the heavy rainfalls, we have taken relief measures. After the entrance into the flooding season, Together with the Ministry of Finance, we have mobilized the earmarked fund of more than 100 million yuan for provinces of Hunan and Jiangxi to help them to relieve and the people and also to reconstruct the road. We have also mobilized a specialized fund of more than 2 billion RMB for the reconstruction after the disaster. Coming forward in the next period of development, we will continue to put people first in our work. In key areas, we will strengthen the guidance to the transportation and also the monitoring. We will coordinate our efforts in the assessment and for the emergency response and also for the reconstruction as well as the relief to the people in poor regions. We will continue to make harder efforts. Thank you. With the Xinhua News Agency. Just now, you have mentioned that the shipping area has played an important role in guaranteeing the logistics. What is the performance of the shipping sector? Thank you very much for your question. This is also a hot topic in recent days. Ministry of Transport has worked under the decisions of the State Council and CPC Central Committee. We have elaborated a plan of 11 rules of guidance for the shipping sector operation. We have the daily dispatching mechanism for the key areas like the Pearl River Delta, Yangtze River Delta, and also the Hong Kong-Macau SAR areas. We have applied measures to untangle the situation of the shipping services. First of all, we guarantee the work performance of the key ports. While respecting the rules to fight against the COVID-19, we have made sure that people living in high-risk areas, they can be monitored and they will work in a closed loop. For the key ports, we have the 24 o'clock non-stop operation. And the second, for the Yangtze River Delta, Pearl River Delta, Beijing-Tianjin, Hebei areas, we have the coordinated efforts and also the synergy and also the sharing of the transportation tasks. Because this year we have already encountered several sporadic outbreaks of COVID-19 in some ports, but those ports, they are doing very well and they are very resilient. And third, for key ports, we have this system of pass to make sure there is the ordinary and effective circulation of the entities. At the port of Tianjin and also the other major ports that have suffered the outbreak of COVID-19, they have guaranteed still their normal operation. In the ports located in the infected areas, we have taken measures to guarantee their improvement of work. And next, we have guaranteed the untangled channels for the shipping transportation. For the shipping channels and also the service areas, we have strengthened our efforts in the fight against the COVID-19. We have also built up our efforts to keep a close eye on the flooding risks. We have this dynamic monitoring of the shipping situation across the country. We have also improved the efficiency of the transportation of ships. And fourth is to increase the quality of our jobs. We have applied the digital technology in our work. The ships, they can apply online for the pass or for ETC service. All those measures and services available have helped to increase the efficiency of our work. For the first 5 months of this year, for the major ports, containers, operation duration is 1.08 days in average. In Chinese ports, the efficiency level is leading the world. Fourth, we have stabilized the supply chain and industrial chains. For the major freighters, especially international ones, we give them guidance and services. If they are working at major ports of China, like the port of Shanghai, For the long distance, we give them 987 standard container ports. And we have also aligned our policies with the international rules, and each year we adopt the provincial policies to reduce the financial burden of the shipping enterprises. For example, this year we have helped to reduce more than 300 million RMB of financial burden for the enterprises. We have also exempted the delay fees for the enterprises due to COVID-19. Currently, for the major routes of shipping, they are in very good operation. Major indicators, they have been stabilized and even improved. As of 24th of June, for the major ports under monitoring, they have completed the throughput of 5.56 billion tons, increased by 0.9% year-on-year. For the major traveling spots of the Yangtze River, we have made achievements. Shipping transportation has been stabilized and put back on track. And with the paper, since March, due to COVID-19, transportation in Shanghai has been disturbed. What about the status quo of Shanghai's transportation? Thank you very much for this question. This is a hot topic too. I'd like to give the floor to my colleague. Thank you very much for this question. Indeed, as you have mentioned, since March of this year, Shanghai has suffered from the COVID-19 outbreak, and there's no exception with its logistic sector. After the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic in Shanghai this year, and with the instructions of the CPC Central Committee and the State Council, we have formed a synergy to win the fight against the COVID-19. In ensuring the smooth logistics for the city of Shanghai, we have worked very hard to guarantee the circulation of the merchandises for the normal work and life of people living in the city. During this period of time, Ministry of Transport has worked under the decisions and instructions of the CPC Central Committee and the State Council. We have also collaborated with the State Council Leading Group on the transportation guarantee. We have built up a working mechanism to untangle the channels for the circulation of the goods. We have improved the policies to fight against the COVID-19 while respecting all the needs for the logistics services. Over the past 2 months, with the synergy of the municipal government of Shanghai and also the collaboration of the neighbor cities and provinces, we have made a lot of achievements in the restoration of logistics services in the municipality of Shanghai. For the road transportation, the arteries connecting Shanghai and other cities are in very good operation. There's no obstacles now. For 104 toll gates and the 24 major service stations along the highways, they're all open and accessible. And we have restored to the normal level in the days pre-COVID-19. For the major hubs of transportation, the Port of Shanghai, Airport of Pudong, they are all in normal operation. And the shipping channels connecting Shanghai and the outside world is also in a very good status. For the Port of Shanghai, they have guaranteed the work on the basis of 24 hours a day. Throughput of containers already restored to 95% of the level of last year. Especially during one peak day, the throughput of containers in Shanghai reached 142.5 thousand units of containers. And also the transportation of the goods inside and outside of Shanghai have being restored to the normal level. Talking about the transportation of the railway system in Beijiao, Minhang, Yangpu, in total 15 sites of railway transportation, they have resumed their work and operation. Since June, they have already picked up their business to 1,700 trains for the transportation of the merchandise. And also for the China EU Express, they have also restored to the normal level of transportation. Postal services, they start to collect new packages, and the level has been restored to 90% of the normal days. We will continue to bring into full play the role of the leading group of insurance for the transport under the State Council, and continuously we will encourage the Port of Shanghai as well as the other hubs of transportation to restore their normal operation so that they can be an important pillar in supporting the recovery of the local economy. With Economic Daily, as is mentioned by Vice Minister Zhao, we're about to celebrate the 18th Shipping Day of China on the 11th of July. And could you please say something more about the decision about the theme of this year's Shipping Day? As is mentioned by Mr. Zhao just now, the theme of this year's Shipping Day is to guide a green, low-carbon, and smart new tendency of the shipping. The Shipping Day of China is a very important event, and this year, for the International Shipping Day, the topic is using the new technologies to support the shipping development. So this year, the theme of the Chinese Shipping Day corresponds very well with that of the International Shipping Day. We have to protect the oceans and also the maritime environment. We have to bear in mind this idea of the community of a shared community of future for mankind. And we will use the new equipments, support the manufacturing of new generation of equipments to respond to the needs of people in a new era. In the manufacturing of the ships and also in fishing, we can apply new green technologies to better support the development of the sector. Next question, please. Thank you. On the 25th of June, we have just celebrated the International Day of the Marines. And these people, they have worked so hard and they have contributed a lot to the development of the shipping sector. And what are the measures to make sure that all those sailors, they can enjoy a better system of the shifts of their work? Taking this opportunity, I'd like to show our respect and also to give our greetings to the marinas. And also I would like to say thank you to you for your long-term care for this issue of the marinas. According to the requirements of the upper authorities, we have continuously taken measures to improve the working environment for the marinas and also improve their capacity. Today, we have more than 1.8 million marinas registered, year-on-year increase of 5.2%. For those working on international ships, the number is 620,000. And we have 950,000 marinas working in the domestic river areas. Today, all those marinas that we have registered in the system, they can guarantee the need for the services. In the capacity building for the high-quality marinas, we have taken a lot of measures. First of all, to elaborate a plan, we have newly modified the laws, and for the first time, we have stipulated about the legitimate rights and interests of the protection of those marinas. And with this modified version, we have also improved the system for the protection of the marinas. We also have the delegation of powers and also the regulation about the marinas. Sailors and mariners, they have to go through the exams in order to be registered. And we have accompanied their exam process. We have also improved the institutions and also improved their working environment. And the third is to give better enabling conditions to accompany their growth. In the Shipping Day of China, we are doing the campaign of education to make more people know about this career of the sailors and also the mariners. They also have this letter of titles, and we are also increasing the social recognition about the importance of the work of the mariners. We also have made it possible a hotline, and we have modified a guidebook for the mariners for the year 2022. We have also published a booklet about the protection of the mariners. And second, about the shifts of the mariners. Today, you know that we are living in an era of COVID-19. The shifts of work among the mariners have become more difficult. According to the Ministry of Transportation, we have to coordinate the efforts in containing the COVID-19 and in guaranteeing the benefits of the mariners. In order to better facilitate this work, we have built up a specialized team, and we are working with the State Council to urge the local governments to facilitate the process of the shifts of the mariners. In some places today, there are still some obstacles hindering the normal shifts of work among the mariners, but we are improving the situation. We have also a modified version for the fight against the COVID-19 with the mariners related. In our country, the vaccination rate of the mariners reached 94%. Since the last day of last year, we have built up this leading group about the shifts of work of mariners. For more than 200 international ships, we have helped to solve the problem of the shifts of the mariners, covering more than 5,100 mariners. And until now, we have helped 420,000 mariners to do the shifts every day. There are 500 mariners taking the shifts at different ports of China, and there's zero outbreak of COVID-19 due to the shifts of the mariners. We will continue to take measures to guarantee this healthy and safe shifts of work among the mariners. As is mentioned before, the 25th of June marks the International Day of the Sailors, and our minister has issued a letter of greetings to the sailors. In a difficult era and against a very challenging background, our sailors and mariners, they have overcome lots of difficulties to stick to their working position and guarantee this untangled logistic services. And also in this letter, our minister has made clear new requirements of work. Moving forward, we will continue to make new efforts to guarantee a decent job for our marinas and also the untangled logistics. In total, our efforts would be contributed to guarantee a sound development of the shipping industry. With China Transportation newspaper, what are the thematic activities in this year's Shipping Day? So I'd like to give the floor to my colleague. Thank you very much. In order to make our Day of Shipping better known by the public this year in organization, we will first of all organize this forum, and then we have a whole week of activities spreading from the 10th to the 16th of July. We have diversified range of activities. First of all, with the forum, we will cover more topics and there will be more diversified activities. During this forum, we will invite keynote speakers, experts, and also the leaders of the industries. We will also work with the other associations and also the chambers to join our panel discussions. We will also adopt a document that is the new initiative. There will be also sub-forums talking about the development of the enterprises in the shipping sector, the education about the culture of shipping, and also the utilization of the data as well as the well-being of the marinas. The Ocean School of China and also the ship-making chambers, they will also be joining our sub-forums. And we will also be organizing the academic exchanges. For example, there will be the academic meeting organized by our side and also the China Ocean School, and we will be granting the awards to the major contributors to our sector. Together with several units of work, we will organize a whole week of education. We will also organize the competition about the knowledge on this industry, and we also have the days of openings. We also organize an online event about the scientific exhibition of the shipping industry. We will do an online showcasing about the shipping-related technologies and also the commercialization of the new achievements of the scientific researchers. And we will also showcase to the people how we can better use the technologies to support the development of the shipping industry. Two last questions for today. Thank you. With the Yangtze River Daily, due to COVID-19, some individual drivers and also enterprises of logistics, they have complained about a huge burden on their shoulders and also the dropping revenues. What are the measures adopted by your ministry and also the State Council leading group to help those enterprises and individual drivers out? I'd like to give the floor to my colleague. Thank you very much for your question. As you have mentioned in your question, due to COVID-19 and many other factors combined, individual drivers and logistics enterprises have suffered from a reduction of revenue, and they have a difficult operation. The State Council and also the organizations have adopted a lot of measures. In the report, there are already 40 articles more. For example, the postponing of contribution to the Social Security network, financial support, tax rebates, tax reductions, and fees reductions. 4 areas that suffered a lot from the COVID-19 and also the hindered transport, we have issued preferential policies to help those enterprises and individuals. The leading office of ensuring smooth logistics in the State Council has worked together with the other departments and organizations. And for the VAT refund, postponing of the contribution to the Social Security network, postponed payback of the loans are some examples of our provincial policies adopted to help the individuals and also enterprises out of this difficult era. At the same time, we have also enlarged the coverage of free nucleic acid tests as well as the antigen tests for our drivers. So this is an important way to lower their operation costs. For individual drivers and enterprises of logistics, we have to make them more satisfied with the current status of work and life. Moving forward, we will continue to work with the leading group of transportation and logistics insurance of the State Council to form a synergy and help those qualified operators in those sectors, especially individual drivers of trucks, to make sure that they can benefit from our existing policies. First of all, we give the guidelines to the local government. For individual drivers of trucks and also the enterprises of logistics, we have to consider their characteristics of their jobs. We use the short duration video platforms to spread the message to them in an immediate way. We have also made innovative means of education to the drivers. And in our service halls, we have also released some booklets to the people and to the visitors to tell them what are the latest measures available. And our workers in the service hall, they will also do their best to help our drivers to solve their problems. At the same time, those provincial policies and also the other supportive measures would be incorporated into the service range of the hotline 12328. Secondly, we have to do a quick response to people's needs. Local departments of transportation should be a bridge connecting the drivers and also the enterprises with the other departments of financial services and also the other types of services. For the VAT credit refund, the postponed contribution, and postponed payback of the loans, free nucleic acid tests to the drivers, all those measures should be explained to our drivers and to our enterprise side. For the policies concerning the postponed contribution of Social Security for qualified enterprises, we have to streamline the process and accelerate the resolution of the problems. We give necessary free services to the people, and also we have to reduce their financial burdens. And for those refund and rebate policies, we also have to guarantee that they can all be applied and benefit the drivers and also the enterprises. We also collaborate with the Chamber of Commerce and also logistics parks to carry out online and offline meetings and exchange activities. We listen to their complaints and opinions. We have to know how they feel and what is their opinion on our existing policies. Like that, we can improve our policies on a daily basis, and we have to make sure that they are very satisfied with all the existing policies. For the malpractices in the circle or for those problems existing in a circle, our individual drivers or the representatives of the enterprises, they can call the hotline 12328 to make the complaint, and we will handle the case as soon as possible. We are also looking forward to the monitoring endeavors from the grassroots so that together we can make sure our policies can be applied to benefit our people. Last question for today. According to the State Council, we have to accelerate the construction of infrastructure. And for some provinces, they have already kicked off the construction of several projects of the highways. What is the current progress? Thank you very much for your question. Ministry of Transport has worked under the decisions of the State Council and the CBC Central Committee. We have decided to serve the application of the major national strategies. We give guidelines to the local government and local departments of transport to serve the application of the 14th five-year plan. For the reconstruction and new constructions, we have to give our guarantees, and we have to give more support to the newly launched projects. We have to give support to the elaboration of the new plans of construction and also to support the newly launched projects. Currently, for the road construction in the country, we have formed a very good momentum. Since May, we have newly kicked off the construction of more than 120 projects with a total investment of 182 billion RMB. For the modified road sections, we have more than 2,000 projects with a total investment of 7.2 trillion RMB. We have accelerated our progress of the construction. For the first 5 months of this year, the road construction has more than 930,000 RMB of investment. Recently, for the major construction projects, we are in very good process. For example, the road projects connecting Sichuan province and Tibetan Autonomous Region. Accomplished investment account for more than half of the total investment. Some of the parts of construction have been realized, and the tunnel projects connecting the province of Guangdong has also made significant progress. For the bridge construction, we have already set up the first major pile structure. For the eastern sixth ring of Beijing, we have built up a tunnel. This one has been coordinated with the highway connecting Harbin and Beijing. One highway construction project has already made the first silo available in the Xinjiang Autonomous Region. Until now, the arch bridge in Guangxi province has made significant progress. This is the bridge with the largest arch degree in the whole world. National Expressway 1517 and 3011, as well as the 3 other major national expressways, have been put into operation. The State Council has made up the decision of a package of the strategies to recover the national economy, and our ministry will cooperate with the other units of work to carry out the decisions of the State Council. For the next half of this year, we will kick off more transportation construction projects and create more jobs. Thank you very much for your participation. That is the end of today's press conference. See you next time. Bye-bye.